Alrighty, so it tells us that the graph of F below, so this is the graph of F, shows the price of generic high school yearbook. So here's the price of the yearbook, and the yearbook sells for $40 for the first 5 months of school. After that, the price increases every month. So our X values are the months after school starts. Y values are the price of the yearbook. So the first thing it asks for is what is the domain in context. So let's talk about what the domain is first. So my domain, where do I start? Where do my X values start? It's 0. Okay, do I include 0? Yes. Okay. And then do I use every X value until I get to 9? So this first line goes from 0 to 5, and 5 is not included, but then 5 is included here, and then I keep going. So if you think about these, like if I was to collapse it and I could like push them together, would those all snap together and be one line segment? Yeah, so since they'll all snap together, that means I actually am using every single X value until I get to 9. Does that make sense to you? So like I can use 1.2, and 5 is included in there, and so is 5.3 or whatever. So I'm going to 9. Do I include 9? No, because that is open, right? Okay, so what does the domain mean in context? Like what, we're going from 0 to 9. Well, that is months, right? And so this means that we can, let's see, a yearbook can be purchased from beginning of the school year until end of month 9. Something like that. I probably could have worded it better where it was less wordy and used like start instead of beginning, something, whatever. But remember, your words don't have to be exactly like mine. I can pretty much guarantee you I'm not writing the exact same sentence in every class period because it's just whatever makes sense at the time. But it all still says the same thing. Okay, we good with that? All right, so then let's talk about the range. Where does my range start? 40, right? And then do I use, so I start at 40, do I use every single Y value until I get to the top? No, okay? So if for the months, I can do 2.5 months, right? Am I gonna be able to do $45? No. Okay, so I've got 40, and then the next Y value I have is 50, then 60, then 70, then 80, right? We good? So we have a finite domain. I've got exactly 5 different prices of what the yearbook would be. So in context, that means, okay, the price of the yearbook starts at $40 and increases by $10 until $80, or until it gets to $80. But we okay with that? And what's actually happening is it's $40 for the first 5 months, and then it increases by 10. But the range doesn't tell us that, right? The range, the domain and the range together kind of, or the graph tells us that. But what the range tells us is $40 and then $50 and then $60 and whatever. Okay, we okay with that? Questions? All right. So then, lastly, we have find f of 5.5, and what does that mean in context? All right, so 5.5, right about there. I go up I hit that. So what is f of 5.5? 50. Okay, so f of 5.5 equals 50. 50 what? Dollars. Okay. So then what does it mean in context? That means that we're explaining or justifying our answer, right? This 5.5, that's 5.5 what? Months, okay? So I can say 5.5 months after school starts the yearbook costs $50. Okay. Or something to that effect. Again, the words don't have to be exactly like that, but we have to make sure our units are on there. We're talking about months, we're talking about dollars, and whether it's this or you use the dollar sign, either way, but kind of I just do whatever I wrote first is fine. Okay, any questions at all? So the whole idea of a context of a question is really not brand new to you. I mean, I know you've talked a lot about graphs and what it means and what's happening. We just got to make sure that we can communicate everything well. Okay, are we good with that? Any questions at all? Awesome.